Hey, this is Dan. Thanks for listening to Polybius. So we're wrapping up season 1 today, but we have a few notes before we get started. First of all, thank you guys so much for listening. The past few months have been a great learning experience for us, and we're looking forward to coming back with season 2, October 31st. So be sure to come back for that. And we're going to be moving to a bi-weekly format. So every other week, we're going to be bringing you a new episode of Polybius. So we're happy to announce that. And we're also excited to announce that we're launching a Patreon. So you can find us, at patreon.com/Tape Noise Podcast. We'll be having the links on all our social media. You can find us. Any support at all is greatly appreciated, but we're going to be giving away some cool things. It's going to come with early access to episodes, bloopers, and God knows there are so many bloopers. We're also going to be giving away some cool physical items like copies of scripts that have been signed by the cast. Go over to the Patreon, check it out, see if there's anything that strikes your fancy, and hey, enjoy the episode.
It's mysterious and dangerous.
I can see why you told me to take out my tinfoil hat.
Wait a second. This is all well-documented, declassified information. The game, man, the game.
My two favorite people. Here, I got your new phone. Factory reset and sync to your accounts, just like you asked.
What's even the point?
I don't know. You asked me to get it for you. I did. You're welcome.
Let's just get it over with.
It seems fine.
Great. Fantastic. So other than running your errands, what do you guys need from me today?
Well, we're sort of working through something right now. Could you make a couple of calls to see about getting our interview for today pushed back a couple hours?
It's why I live.
So, how do you feel about taking a ride down to the station and trying to get this sorted out? I don't really know what else to do.
Fine, but before I do, I want to do two things. Let's see Musterman return that phone now. I'm calling Apophenia Estates and seeing if they can tell me anything about the machine. Best I can tell, all this started when we brought it home.
Okay, yeah, but didn't James say that line was disconnected?
I'm going to call him too. You got any other ideas?
I guess it was worth a shot anyway.
Take two. Hey, James. I'm glad I got a hold of you. Hey, listen.
3 days remaining. 3 days until the end. 3 days until you are out of time. You have been connected. Grant, you must play.
This isn't happening.
It's Apophenia Estates.
Well, here we go. You have been connected. You must play.
Hello?
Hello, Grant. I'm sorry that you didn't appreciate our returning your lost phone. I assumed that when you threw it into the trash that you had simply misplaced it.
Look, I don't know who you really are, but I know you're not with the Sheffield PD, and you need to...
I don't need to do anything. You need to be more thankful when someone does you a favor. All kinds of absolutely terrible people in the world, and you want to shit all over my meager act of kindness.
Look, I don't know what you want.
I don't want much. It's just that we've gone through so much trouble to deliver this fun little game to you. I just want you to play the game a little bit.
Why?
You ask a lot of questions, and I intend to give you what answers I can, but I can't do that right now.
Why
Do you
not?
want some answers or no answers?
Yeah.
All right, the first question that you should have asked, but didn't. No, I'm not with the Sheffield Police Department. Yes, I am with the United States government. And no, I am not a part of the CIA. The answer to the second question that you should have asked but failed to, no, we did not make Polybius. Admittedly, sometimes in an organization as large and as varied as the government of these United States and its various branches, occasionally the left hand does not know what the right hand is doing. I can assure you, however, that we have gone through exhaustive efforts and measures to find out who or what designed Polybius. And the short answer is that we do not know. We know it was not us.
So why are you so just absolutely hell-bent on making me play this thing?
Well, I am and I am not.
What kind of sense does that make?
Plenty, if you ask the right questions and actually listen.
I don't know what questions you want me to ask.
Well, neither do I. I just know that the questions you're asking are not the right questions.
What can you tell me about Polybius?
Well, as of this moment, not much. It largely depends on your performance. I can tell you that what we think Polybius is a helpful game. In testing, we often found that people would finish sessions with some side effects, but often would experience moments of great clarity after the nastier symptoms cleared up.
Great clarity about what, exactly?
I think if you play Polybius, you might get some insight about what's happening in your life. It might even be that Polybius will save you.
Save me from what?
From the sorts of things that happen to people that encounter Polybius. But do not stop asking mundane questions and play the damn game.
Why me?
That is exactly what I hope to find out. Oh, and a piece of friendly advice. You're going to want to get yourself an old school flip phone. No bells, no whistles. Something that calls and texts, that's all you need.
I'm calling this bastard back.
Days remaining. 3 days until the end. 3 days until you are out of time. You have been connected. Gran, you must play.
We sat around the studio for a while, not really saying much. Honestly, we weren't sure what to do. We didn't know who Musterman was or why he was so interested in me playing this game. We also didn't know where James had gone or where the machine came from. For every single question that we had, the answer was almost always, we don't know. It was a rather powerless feeling. We didn't have any information to go on. Not really. Nothing we could trust. If what Musterman said was true, then we had decisions to make. It didn't sound believable, and we had no reason to trust him. Believing Musterman meant believing that we're in the middle of a certifiable conspiracy theory. It wasn't easy to accept. But what was the alternative? That Musterman is lying? Somehow that was worse. If Musterman's lying, then we still have to face the basic fact that someone had remotely wiped my phone. We still had to accept that someone, apparently, went through a lot of trouble to make sure that I got a maybe mythological arcade machine. That person, or someone connected to that person, would have then broken into the studio to make sure that the machine would plug into my remotely hijacked phone. Neither option was particularly reassuring. We decided to take little baby steps to exercise control over what we could. We decided to keep our interview appointment, so we shut down everything at the studio and made our way to the car. I had to walk by the arcade machine on the way out. Even though it was unplugged, it felt like that big black glass eye was staring at me.
How's the new phone holding up?
So far, so good.
You thinking about what he said, or you maybe gonna get a flip phone just to be safe?
I found one on Let Go for $20. I was hoping we could pick it up on the way back. Hey man, do me a favor, turn off the recorder. I've been on the razor's edge for the past couple of days, and I just want to relax and not think, you know?
Yeah, I got you, man. Do you feel like some music?
Hey, plug it up.
3 days remaining. 3 days until the end. 3 days until you are out of time. You have been connected. Gran, you must
Which phone
play.
is that?
That's mine. I don't
3
know what's
days
going
remaining.
on. I pulled up Spotify,
3 days
and
until
this
the end.
just started happening.
3 days until you are out of...
Look, I don't much feel like doing the interview anymore.
No,
Have you eaten anything?
haven't felt like it. Probably need to.
Saw Taco Bell back the road a little bit. You want to stop?
Yeah, burrito sounds good.
We called our guest for the day, made up an excuse that sounded more plausible than being stalked by an anonymous but menacing government agency. got our bean burritos, and went back to the studio. We did meet up with the Let Go seller that had the flip phone on the way back, just so I could have a phone in case my new smartphone got hijacked, like Musterman implied that it might. We agreed to meet up in the Walmart parking lot. He said what he was driving, I told him what I was driving, and that should have been enough, but both Dan and myself were getting a little paranoid at this point. We saw him in the parking lot before he saw us, and we parked a few rows away just to watch him and make sure that he was acting normal. Neither of us were really sure what constituted normal anymore, but we caught him trying to pick his nose without anyone watching. We figured he probably wasn't an anonymous but terrifying invisible hand of a conspiracy. I gave him the cash, he gave me the phone, and Dan and myself headed back to the studio to meet Claire. She was already in the lobby chatting with Viv when we walked in the door.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So what are we even trying to do here?
Well, I believe Grant wanted me to come look at the cabinet and verify that it can't be the real deal.
I mean, that would be great. I think we're past that now, but it would be great.
I actually took the liberty of opening it up while we were waiting on you guys.
And?
I only got the back off. I still have to dig into another compartment where the actual guts are housed.
Please dig away.
Don't mind if I do.
Thanks again for driving all the way out here. I'll spot you gas.
It's no big deal. Just remember to say nice things about my games on your show and we'll call it even.
Deal. You in?
Yeah.
Any good news?
I'm not sure. So, I still think it's a counterfeit. It's just... It's not a modern counterfeit. And it's clean. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. The game is on copper PCB board, and all the controls are soldered directly to the board, including the USB port this cord is plugged into.
So, what does that mean?
I have no idea.
So, some stuff has happened since we talked yesterday. I think you should know. I took a few minutes to catch Claire up on all of the strange occurrences from the past 24 hours. The officer paying for our lunch, then pulling us over to return my phone. The automated message I'd started getting everywhere I turned. My conversation with Musterman and all of it.
You understand that none of this sounds plausible at all.
Yeah, I do, and I think I need to try and play this game.
Okay, but why? It just seems pointless.
A lot has happened in the past couple days. There are some people that really want me to play this game for some reason. I don't think it matters if this cabinet is the real deal or not. I think they believe that it is, and I don't know if I really believe what they're telling me, but I think the safest thing to do is play the game just a little bit to see if they back off at all.
And what if they don't back off? What if they just get more intense?
Dude, I don't know. But I don't know what else to do. I don't see any other option. They aren't going to just let me ignore this and hope it all goes away.
They?
Look, I know how insane this sounds, but whoever or whatever is doing all of this has made it clear that they have the power to make my life really difficult if I don't play ball.
All right, so let's say that you're right. Let's say that there's some shadowy cabal that, for whatever reason, is totally hell-bent on getting you to play this game for some reason or another. All right, what good comes from wasting time playing along with them instead of going to...
Going to who?
Well, shit, who's left?
The ABI?
Yeah, let's just call the tip line. Hello, ABI! Someone gave me a spooky video game and now Men in Black are following me!
Yeah, very helpful, thanks for that. But, okay, well, so how would you even play? Grant, you smashed your old phone.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you this, but check out the new one Viv picked up for me.
That's the same thing the old one was doing.
Yeah, I'm going for it. I plugged the USB adapter coming from the arcade machine into my now useless phone. My phone screen flashed a few times, then said Ultra in a retro 80s sci-fi kind of font. The exact same sequence of letters danced across the arcade machine's monitor. Welcome to the game, Grant. I pressed play. Best I could tell, the machine could only display a handful of colors. White, blue, red. Something that I think was supposed to be yellow. It was more like the color of a lime that was about a week past its prime. Triangles of each color flew across the screen, starting out about half the size of the screen, then shrinking down to about an inch high and maybe about a half an inch wide. The blue and red triangles lined up at the top of the screen in rows that were 4 deep and 10 wide. The triangles alternated, a red one, blue, another red one, and so on. A single, almost but not quite, yellow triangle was at the bottom. I wiggled the joystick and the yellow triangle wiggled back.
So I guess the yellow triangle must be yours?
I bet the button fires a weapon.
I tapped the long button on the control panel and a little white square shot out of the tip of my yellow triangle toward the red and blue triangles. Ships. I think they were supposed to be ships on the opposite side. I hit a blue triangle and all hell broke loose. All of the ships flew off the screen and toward me. They flashed and they spun and they zoomed toward me and then back and towards me and back, pulsing larger and then smaller. Then it was over. They all settled back into their respective slots. Well, all except for my little yellow triangle. It was situated on the enemy side of the screen, stuck right in the middle of a row of blue and red ships. I moved the joystick, but nothing moved on the screen. I tapped the wide attack button and, well, that was a mistake. The blue and red ships spread out, abandoning their organized formation, and began to spin in a circle around my yellow ship. They all took turns firing their own tiny white lasers at my yellow ship. I jerked the joystick and my ship responded. This time I was able to move backwards and forwards, not just left and right. It didn't do me much good though. There were 38 red and blue ships spinning around my own ship so quickly that they almost bled together into purple. And they were all taking turns firing at me too. I tapped the fire button over and over, but if I was hitting enemy ships, I couldn't tell. There were just too many moving too fast, and before too long, one of them landed a hit and my game was over.
You died on the first stage. What are you, 5?
I can't imagine any modern game designer looking at this and thinking that it's good gameplay.
This sucks.
In a word, yeah, it sucks.
How are you supposed to win?
Maybe you weren't supposed to win. A lot of older game design makes up for the lack of depth with increased difficulty. But there's usually a pattern, so latter attempts tend to be more successful than previous attempts.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Give me just 1 second. I think this thing's making me car sick.
That's one of the supposed side effects.
Yeah. Well, at least that part of the story's true. So I pressed play again, and I lost in the same way again. Frustrated, I hit the white button and started another new game. My eyes were beginning to burn. My head was beginning to feel like one of Gallagher's watermelons. I was afraid that the bean burrito was about to make a reappearance over the controls, and I made a break for the trash can.
Dude, I think you need to stop.
Or take a break. Anything.
One of us could take a turn.
No, I don't want anyone getting more involved than they already are. I just need a second. I'll be alright.
You've probably already died again.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Fine, I'm going back in.
I'm not sure that this stage isn't impossible. I think it might be designed for you to lose. There's no action that you can take that doesn't result in an attack that's impossible to dodge and kills in a single hit.
Well, except for doing nothing at all.
So, hey, what happens if we start a new game, then just do nothing? Just sit back and watch?
Maybe. I guess something could change that would make it safe to attack.
Best idea we've got right now. So I just do nothing.
Yeah, let's watch.
So we did. We stood back and watched. 30 seconds passed, then a minute, and absolutely nothing was happening. That changed when the red and blue ships broke formation and started to circle around my yellow ship again. I went to grab the joystick, but Claire stopped me. Then, one by one, the blue ships turned around and flew off the screen. Seconds later, the red ships did the same. The machine played a cheerful little MIDI tune and my yellow ship flew forward, off the screen and away. A single word, "Congratulations," rose from the bottom of the screen. It reached the center of the screen, flashed 3 times, and disappeared. A long string of numbers took its place, but they were formatted strangely. The number consisted of 11 digits in total, separated by a period every 3rd digit.
Hey, that looks like an IP address. Hey, somebody write it down, quick.
Okay, I've got it, but why?
When you go to a website, you type in the name in a language that you understand. These numbers are the name of a website in a language that the computer understands.
So we need to check out this website, you think?
Yay!
You did well, Viv. You're the one that noticed the pattern.
That's cool and all, but I've got 2 tests next week.
I'm sure it's fine if you need to go.
Oh, how very gracious of you. Let's get Grant onto the couch before he passes out, then I'm leaving.
I'm fine.
No, you aren't. You're the color of chunky milk and you're soaked in sweat. You need to lie down on the couch right now.
Fine.
I think I'm going to take off too, you guys. I want to check out this address, but I want to see if I can do some research. Maybe find out who it's registered to before I go jumping in and infecting my PC.
Can someone hand me that?
Here you go. Hey, when did you even activate this flip phone?
I haven't.
2 days remaining. 2 days until the end. 2 days until you are out of time. You have been contacted. Grant, you must play.
So what now?
Y'all go home. I'm putting my SIM card in this flip phone and then getting some sleep. Hello?
Sorry, did I wake you?
Yeah, it's alright though. What's up?
It's noon. His ass needed waking up.
Well, I may have a little news about this IP address. I can't tell who it's registered to. Okay, well, that's half true. The company that it's registered to looks like it barely exists at all. It's an LLC that looks like it was created just to register this address. I can't find any records of it anywhere except for the paperwork filed to form the LLC itself, and it's really, really sketchy. Most of the spaces are blank. The ones that aren't blank don't make any sense. Under name, it just says yes.
How is that even legal?
It definitely isn't. Someone somewhere filed some dummy paperwork. Either they had a friend on the inside who could help them get it through undetected, or they just somehow uploaded the form directly into the server, totally bypassing all the human verification that should have caught something like this. Seeing as how this is presumably the same people that have remotely hijacked your phone twice now, I think the second option is pretty likely.
So, okay, that's a dead end?
Definitely.
Well, what about the site itself?
No clue. I keep being denied access. It just tells me that I'm not authorized to access that page.
Could I?
That's why I called. I was hoping that you might be able to give it a try.
Let me get to my laptop.
Okay, great. Do you need me to read the number to you?
No need. It's still on the screen from last night.
It hasn't changed at all?
Not even a little bit.
That's sort of creepy.
It's all sort of creepy. And it gets worse. I got into the website.
Really? What is it?
There isn't much to it. Black background, white text. It says, "Thank you for playing. Stage 1 complete. Stage 2 begins 11:59 p.m. at..." Come along.
You're not going.
I don't know. I think if I don't go, they're going to come to me.
Maybe that wouldn't be so bad. Meet them on your own turf or... Hold on. At the Waffle House?
What?
The address you gave me from the website, it's a Waffle House. It's the one where that guy fell out of the ceiling.
I mean, I guess that's not so bad, right? It's a Waffle House. That's public. No one gets shot at the Waffle House.
It's the Waffle House at midnight. How public is that?
Have you been to a Waffle House? Midnight is prime Waffle House real estate. Never trust a man that eats Waffle House when the sun's up.
So I've heard. What will you do till then?
I don't know. I've got real work to do. I'm running behind. I haven't gotten to do any editing in 3 days because of all of this. So I guess I'm going to go get some work done.
I understand. Hey, before you go, I didn't mention this before because he's really more of a hobbyist and not so much a professional, but I'm guessing you aren't taking that arcade machine in for repairs, right?
Yeah, I'm not really comfortable leaving this thing in someone else's house or business. I get a feeling that their house or shop or whatever would get broken into and I'd wake up with the cabinet right back where it was before I took it for repair.
Okay, that's fine. I get it. I was going to say, though, I've got this friend that's totally obsessed with retro arcade games. He might be able to tell us something if he came over and took a look inside. Is that all right?
Maybe. Let me think about it. I don't want anyone else getting involved, but I definitely feel like we need to know more.
No pressure. It's just an idea. Anyway, I've got to run. Bye.
Later. I spent the rest of the evening editing audio. I edited interviews, I edited instrument tracks, I edited anything that would help keep my mind off of this mess that I found myself in. I thought about trying to get a pistol, but it felt like a bad idea. Somehow, like I would be agreeing to play their game, whoever they might be. And I knew that they had a lot more experience with their game than I did. So I killed time just doing whatever work I could do to make the hours pass. When 11 p.m. got here, I crept through the studio, peeking around every corner before I committed, making sure that there were no nasty surprises waiting for me down the hall. Before I made it outside, I flipped on the oversized security lights outside the studio and stared at every inch of the outside world I could see. I checked under my car and in the back seats before I got in and cranked the engine. Whoever they were, wherever they were, I was determined to be ready for them. I put the car into gear and headed toward the Waffle House. I got there about 20 minutes early and parked right in front of the door. The parking lot was empty, and so was the dining area. The only soul in the Waffle House was the line cook, who was furiously scrubbing the grill clean. I sat outside the whole 20 minutes, waiting to see who might go in or out, waiting for more people to show up, but they never did. At 5 minutes till, I got another text. 4 minutes remaining. 4 minutes until the end. 4 minutes until you're out of time. You have been connected. Grant, you must play. I looked around frantically, trying to see if anyone else was in the parking lot with me. There were no other vehicles, not even one for the line cook, and I didn't see any people around on foot. It was sketchy, and I was nervous as all hell, but I didn't see where I had a choice. Someone was obviously watching me, and I didn't want to find out what happened if I ignored their instructions. Not yet. I went inside the Waffle House and took a seat at the booth nearest the door, trying to keep an eye on the exit and hopefully a clear escape path open.
Hold on. I'll be with you in just a minute.
Take your time, man. No hurry. Y'all seem kind of dead tonight anyway.
Oh, it'll pick up later. You know how it is. Sometimes there are things going on in town and folks don't come to see until whatever it is that's keeping them away is over and done with.
Any idea what's going on?
I've got an idea or two.
It was at that point that the line cook turned around and I came face to face with a man that I had come to dread over the past several days. Standing there cleaning the Waffle House grill at nearly midnight was no one other than Officer Musterman.
I'm just so glad you could make it, Grant. There's so much to say, and the time has come to talk of many things.
Thanks for listening to Polybius. This episode of Polybius featured voice acting talents of me, Dan Williams,
Grant Walden?
Haley Walden.
Kara Williams.
Fletch Brown.
Hey guys, Grant here. I hope you've enjoyed Polybius. This is new to us and we're gauging fan interest. If you like it and need another audio drama in your life,
Let us know what you think. Find us on Facebook at Tape Noise Podcasts and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey guys, Dan here, and thanks so much for listening. We're really excited to hear your thoughts, so please tell us what you think, and if you enjoyed it, please tell your friends. Thanks, and we'll see you real soon. Don't forget to come back. We will be going live with Season 2 October 31st. We'll see you then.